We're clear?
Clear.
All right. On my passenger side engine compartment, my alternator is securely mounted, my wires are intact, and my wires are not worn or frayed. My belt is not cracked, frayed, or glazed, and has a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deflection. My exhaust system is securely mounted. There's no broken, loose, or missing parts, and there's no soot which would indicate an exhaust leak. That's everything on this side. All right, on my driver's side engine compartment, my air compressor is securely mounted. My hoses are attached. It's not leaking oil. If it were belt driven, I would check to make sure the belt is not cracked, frayed, or glazed, and there's a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch of deflection. My oil is not milky in color, which would indicate coolant in the oil. There's no foreign particles, and it's between the add and the full line. If it were below the add line, I'd add 1 gallon of 15 W40. My power steering fluid's at the proper level. My water pump is securely mounted, not leaking, and its hose is also not leaking. It's not cracked or frayed, and its belt is not cracked, frayed, or glazed with a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deflection. My coolant, if it does not have a sight glass or a clear reservoir, with the engine cool, I'll remove the radiator cap. Make sure that the fluid is no more than 3 inches below the top of the cap. On my steering system, my steering linkage is securely mounted, not broken, has no broken, loose, or missing parts, and it's not bent. My steering gearbox is securely mounted, and the hoses are attached, securely attached. My pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle, steering arm, and my spindle are all securely mounted with no damage and no broken, loose, or missing parts. And my tie rod is securely attached to my steering arm, and the tie rod is not bent. All right, so now I'm going to my suspension. Oh, and also my castle nuts and cotter pins are in place and none are missing. And now I'm going to my suspension. My spring mounts are securely mounted with no broken, loose, or missing parts. That's both mounts front and back. My springs, there are none broken, missing, or misaligned. If a quarter or more are missing, it'll put my vehicle out of commission. My U-bolts are securely tightened and they're not broken or missing. And my shock absorber is securely mounted and not leaking. Now onto my brakes. My brake hoses are not cracked, frayed, or leaking. My brake chamber is securely mounted and not leaking. My slack adjuster, there are no broken, loose, or missing parts. My pin and cotter pin are in place, securely attached to the push rod. With my wheels chocked and my parking brake release, there should be no more than 1 inch of play. My brake drums, they're not cracked, they have no repair welds, and there's no excessive buildup of debris. My linings are at least 1/4 inch thick. They must have at least 1/4 inch of thickness, and they're not oil soaked or cracked. Now on to my wheels. My tires, front tires, must have at least 4 32" tread depth. Must be virgin rubber on the front, meaning they cannot be re-grooved or recapped or retread. Inside and out, they have no cuts, bruises, or blisters. Must have 90 to 100 PSI. Check that with an air gauge. Make sure there's a metal cap on the end of the valve stem. My rims, inside and out, there's no cracks, bends, or repair welds. And my lug nuts are securely tightened. There's no rusty streaks, which would indicate a loose lug nut. My hub oil seal is not leaking.